Constitutional carry, also known as permitless carry, that's right, is the concept of allowing citizens to carry concealed handguns without having to obtain permits from the government, so long as they are legally allowed to own guns in the first place and have no history of criminal activity or mental illness. You still may need to apply for concealed carry permits if you wish to carry a gun when traveling outside your home state. This concept has been gaining popularity lately, but it's not entirely clear yet whether or not it's really a good thing or just another avenue towards disaster. Let's take a look at what constitutional carry means and why it might be the right choice for you, your situation, and your state. Now, all states are different. There are 50 states in the union, and currently half of them have passed constitutional carry laws. 4 states have already passed similar laws just this year alone. Meanwhile, out in California, New York, and Hawaii, good luck even being able to own a gun. In this country of extremes, is the answer on either side or somewhere in the middle. I would argue that it's not an issue of right or left, but one of personal responsibility. So let's explore both sides of the argument so we can make an informed decision about what's best for us as individuals. What do you think? You think more people carrying guns is a good thing or a bad thing? Or you think it depends on certain factors such as age, criminal history, mental health, etc.? Whatever your thoughts, please share with me in the comments below. Let me know what you think. So what happens if you can't get a concealed carry permit? So is constitutional carry good for someone who would not normally be able to get a concealed carry permit? Well, yes and no. If you live in a state that allows constitutional carry, then yes, it's a great thing because you don't have to jump through all those hoops just to carry a gun with you on your person. However, if you live in one of those states that requires training and testing before you can even apply for your permit, then it's not such a great thing, because you still have to go through all of that nonsense before carrying anyway. Why does it matter if we're talking about constitutional carry? Because what we're really talking about here is whether people should be allowed to carry their guns concealed without having gone through training and testing first. I love the idea of not having to deal with the government to be able to legally carry my firearm. But being an instructor, I see the need for people that want to carry to get the training they need to do so safely. So I'm for constitutional carry, but I also want you to train. Benefits of constitutional carry. All right, so let's discuss what the benefits are besides not having to pay to get a permit. First, we have to get a permit and pay for it. That means there's an entity that has control over who can carry a gun and who cannot. When you have constitutional carry, then anyone that meets certain requirements, usually age, can carry without any kind of permission from anyone else. This gives us more freedom as citizens because we don't have to ask permission from someone else to exercise our rights, guaranteed by our Constitution. It also means less government control over our lives and more personal responsibility for ourselves as individuals. A lot of things going right with constitutional carry, huh? Okay. So, what will be the disadvantages of constitutional carry? Don't get mad at me yet. Are there disadvantages of carrying without a permit? I'll start with 2. You still won't be able to carry in certain states. And if you're arrested for any reason, it'll take longer for your gun rights to be restored. That said, I don't think these are big enough issues that they should prevent anyone from exercising their right. Many states allow open carry without a permit. So even if your state does not have constitutional carry, you can still open carry if you're able by local laws. Wouldn't always recommend it, but hey, it's your choice. Of course, a lot of people, including me, will dissuade you from open carry. We call it concealed carry for a reason. Why do you want everyone to know you have a gun? Well, then again, let me know what you think. Some people like open carry, so it's your opinion. So, I guess my main reason for making this video was, is it a good thing for black folks? Black folks and guns have a complicated relationship. Black folks and the police have a complicated relationship. Black folks in the Second Amendment, all right, you get the picture. So is constitution carry something black people should celebrate but be a little wary of, or is it something that will cause us to lose our rights? I'll let you decide after listening to my take on it. Philip Smith, president of the National African American Gun Association, NAGA, recently said this about Georgia's new constitutional carry law. We're about training African Americans how to shoot, how to take a firearm, and learn how to protect themselves and loved ones. Typically, to be honest, looking at African Americans in the country, we've not really had introduction to firearms like other communities. We're big advocates for the Second Amendment. We try to be very open in terms of the conversation because obviously some people are not advocates of the Second Amendment. My fear is that you will have a lot more people buying guns that are not trained in details of the gun. That's my biggest fear. A lot of people try to take that out of context, but we know what my man meant. I agree wholeheartedly with what he said. Our communities know from experience that things like this always seem to hit us a little differently. How many black folks believe that stand your ground applies to them? Did Philando Castile, having an illegally owned firearm, prevent him from being killed during a routine traffic stop? Well, we'll wait and see how this goes. We'll see. All right, so I'm going to jump off my soapbox and I'll continue. You've heard about my concerns with the new laws and what are other challenges or concerns dealing with permitless carry. The biggest challenge is that law enforcement will not know who has a permit and who doesn't. They'll have no way of knowing if you have formal training or if you had any gun safety training at all. This can be problematic when they encounter someone carrying a firearm because they may not know how to handle it safely themselves and could end up shooting an innocent person for fear that their life is in danger. In addition, there is concern among some police officers that people may feel like they do not need to follow commands from law enforcement because they're legally allowed to carry their weapon anyway. You can go back and kind of see why that kind of concerns me. But, police, I just would always say, even if you have a permitless carry in your state, get your license anyway. But I'll move on. Many officers are 2A advocates, but do they really think they want to encounter you with a gun? Also, while many may be advocates, most officers only train once a year when it comes to qualify to carry their gun. Do you really want an anxious officer who only trains once a year pulling you over with a gun in your car and no permit? It may not matter to some, but to others it would be the difference between life and death. So just kind of think about that. I'm all for constitutional carry, but I still think you should get your license anyway. Just personal opinion. All right, so from prior posts, I try not to jump on one side or the other. I prefer to start this blog off by talking about topics and see what you, the reader, has to say. Your comments and interaction will dictate future topics and discussion. Who knows, I might make some definitive arguments in the near future. I just made one. With that being said, do you know where to go if you want to get more information on concealed carry laws in your state? The Law Center to Prevent Gun Violence is an organization dedicated to preventing gun violence through research, legal action, and public education. This nonprofit organization has been working for over 20 years, fighting gun safety measures nationwide. Fighting for gun safety measures. Messed that up. Also, I have to mention that the USCCA has valuable information on their website. So go check out USCCA. You can get a lot of good information on constitutional carry. I hope you enjoyed what I had to say. If you did, leave a comment below. If not, tell me why. I'll try to do better next time. Permitless carry, constitutional carry. I'm with it. Are you with it? Let me know. Until then, we'll talk to you guys later. Stay safe, shoot straight.